Hi everybody, it's Kathy here. Today we're doing Paws to You. Thank you to all my subscribers for coming back and watching, and hopefully if you're newer to my channel, I do something that keeps you coming back as well. I really do appreciate your time, effort, and please leave me a comment because I really do appreciate the feedback. This is our layout. Hopefully you will be inspired to create with this today. So let's get started, and here's how it all comes together. Welcome everybody, and don't forget we're doing Paw Your Way into Our Hearts, and this is with our four-legged friends who are very special to us. My layout today is of Ivy, and when we first got her it was around Christmas time, and I did a layout of her as a Santa puppy, and she was totally impressed with herself. So these are some scraps that I'm going to pull into this layout. I've got a double-sided paper here, and I've also got this green one here with another pattern on the other side that I will be incorporating into the layout. This little tag here on the front I actually end up not using on the layout, but you'll see that as we progress. So to start with, I'm just going to trim down to 12 by 12. This is from a paper pad that I got last Christmas, and I'm using it to be the base on this layout. I've decided to go with the dark olive green just to give it a bit of a pop, make it stand out from the colours in the layout. And I'm cutting two 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I'm cutting a 6 1/4 panel here, which I'm going to build the base from. Now I have taken off 1/4 of an inch from the ends of all of those strips so that they will fit on the page and leave that olive green as a border. I did gut the border out because I am going to use the olive green for my photo matting and also for the matting of my circles on this layout. It's a great way of stretching your stash. You don't have to. If you've got 2 pieces of cardstock and you want to use your cardstock, do so. But if you're on a tight budget, and this is something I learned a long time ago when I really was on a tight budget, how to stretch my stash, it makes sense that you can just use what you've got and build the same effective pages that everybody else does. So I have a 3-panel background with that vertical band in the middle, and that's always a go-to, makes great designs. I'm going to use a strip of the other side, so this is where double-sided paper comes into play and is really good because it coordinates nicely, but you get more out of your paper when you can use it on both sides. I'm putting in a fishtail banner there. Now this one here is a strip of scrap that I've had in my Christmas bag for a while, and I'm going to use it here to create another fishtail banner to run alongside the longer one there. And I contemplate cutting a strip from here, but then I remember that I have a million, well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I have so many branding strips that I thought I will find a Christmas one for sure, and I did. I found this lovely diagonal stripe, red and white, which of course is very Christmassy, and I can blend it in beautifully into this colour combination on this layout, and that defines those 2 fish banners nice and easily. Now I have my 2 photos. As I said, this is Ivy. I did that layout back in 2022, and Ivy, when I was trying to take a photo of it to showcase it, she decided that she'd give it her paw of approval. Now in the olive green that I said I was using for my photo mounting, I have cut out 2.5 inch circles from the matting for the photos, as well as an extra piece. That is because I'm using a 2 1/4 inch circle of the 5 different patterns here to create a bauble effect on the layout. So this is another way, as I said, to stretch the stash, but also to incorporate all the same colours without overloading the sensors. Now I've chosen the reds as my main colour, and that's because of the photos, and it's always important to choose colours, I feel, from your photos. Here's where you see I fuss around with this little tag about have yourself a merry little Christmas, because I really did want it on the layout, but in the end I choose not to do so. I want to put on the 5 baubles here because I actually like the odds. and the odds are pleasing to the eye. As you know, in nature, everything in nature is odds. If you look at a plant, its petals are odd. If you look at its branches, the leaves are odd. That's just the way nature does it. It's to do with the Fibonacci number. It's also just a natural way of the eye being pleased without being overloaded. So when I scrapbook, I always try to follow the rule of odds: 3, 5, 7, 1, and it helps to make it balanced and pleasing for the eye. So I struggle trying to find the spot for this 5th one, and then when I finally do, it just sits nicely, and you can see your eye roams around the page quite pleasantly. So that tag still bothering me. In the end, I decided, no, I'm not going to do it. But I thought maybe I might put it there, but no, I end up not. So I want something to anchor that photo a little bit more. So I'm going to add in another fishtail banner in there, and that gives the 3 fishtail effect on the layout. So once again, the odds. And I knew that it was annoying me, so I had to do that. Now, here's a little tip and trick for you with washi tape. I learnt this watching a video the other day. Put it onto cardstock, and then you can cut it and trim it to the size you want. So I'm needing a 1/4 inch for my bands. Trying to cut it with scissors straightly is not an option. So by putting it onto the cardstock here, I now have got a workable piece that I can use and build in that gold glimmer to the layout. Now, washi is notorious for losing its stick, but if I put it onto this cardboard, I find that it tends to stay better with the plain white cardstock. So I'm just putting it down, making sure that it is smooth, and I'm cutting out 2 more strips of the 1/4 inch, which I end up not needing, but I just like to have more just in case, and they'll all go in the scrap pile, and I'm sure I'll use them somewhere down the track on another layout. I'm using my Nuvo glue here, and that's because it's got a fine nozzle, and I can layer up the gold as the hanging string for my baubles, which I'm doing now. You can see that it's fitting into place quite easily. I just top it up with a bit of glue to make sure that it's down firm, and when you put them in, it looks like it's hanging from string, and they are anchor points. And you can see I need to put that one right down the length, and I'm going to run it down the side of the photo. So that's keeping it nice and straight and also looking a part of the layout. Having enough glue to hold it down is important because you don't want it lifting, but you don't want so much glue that it's bogging down and very, very wet. So I'm just topping up a little bit here where it's dried, because it does dry quickly. It's not like my tacky glue where I can work with it for a while. My nozzle on my tacky glue is a bit clogged at the moment. I need to go and clean that out so that I can use it again. It is very hot here in Australia at the moment too, and that doesn't help because it dries everything so fast. So I have to work pretty quickly to get these down, and I am using glue to attach these to the layout. Now you can see that I am overlapping some of the photos with these baubles, but that's okay because the key factor is what is the main part of the photo and making sure that it stands out. I have fussy cut some bows, and these bows have come from a Scrap Sketch printable sheet, their Christmas range, and they were perfect for this beautiful collection of baubles and adding that little bit of extra design to the layout. I'm using foam puffy tape here to lift them up off the page to give some dimension and some interest to the layout. That's always another factor in the designing of a layout, to add that detail and that interest to make it interesting for everyone. Now, as I said, we got Ivy back in 2021 for my daughter when she was suffering during COVID lockdown. Ivy is very much an empath. She automatically has this sensory to anybody who is in distress, and she just is a very, very sooky, lovable dog who will sit for hours with anybody in distress, even to the point that she'll lap up tears and all that sort of stuff. She's just beautiful. So this layout here shows her as a puppy, and as I said, as I was trying to take a photo of this layout, she decided that she would give her sense of stamp of approval and look at herself in her layout. So I'm just adding some doodling here to add some more detail. What I'm doing is I'm doing a very messy border. This is very very, very easy to do. You don't need a ruler. It doesn't have to be exact. It is that purpose. It is messy. It doesn't matter that it overlaps and tags, and sometimes we actually want it to do that so that it gives some more visual pleasure to the layout. And I'm just adding in a little hashtagging here just to add some more stitching type effect to the layout. I'm drawing in my journaling lines down here at the bottom, and I'm just adding the story of Ivy giving herself a stamp of approval for this layout. And it was January 2022 when I did it, and that's how that's come together. Using stickles is always a great way of adding that splash of difference, building up your visual triangle, and that's what I've done here. I haven't put them at every bauble. I've only put them at 3, and that creates that visual triangle for your eye to roam around the page. This is always a subtle roaming because we don't want to overpower the layout. So here you go. This is how it's all come together. As I said, give me a thumbs up if something is really taking your fancy. I really do appreciate it. YouTube loves those thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I really do want the feedback. It helps me keep growing and keep producing videos. I hope you found something interesting or something inspirational to get you creative on this great day. Have a lot of fun. Have happy scrapping. Till next time, everybody. Check out the next video. The next one is one that YouTube says you should watch, but it is also the one that I just uploaded just recently. Happy scrapping till next time.